From the reading this morning, you will read my story. It's a story that has a happy ending. And more than just a happy ending, a happy trajectory that is not yet fulfilled. For as the story will draw to a close, you will read of my son, his son, Eved. You see, the son that will be born to Ruth will be my son. I will nurse him. I will nurture him. But it is not me who gave him his name. When I returned with Ruth to Beit Lechem, the house of God's sustenance, the women came to greet me, Naomi, whose name means pleasant in relationship, Naim. And I said to them, my name is not Naomi, it is Mara. My name is not one of pleasantness, it is of embitteredness. For I had not only lost my husband in Moab, but my 2 sons, without any grandchildren. I was bereft of all the richness of love with which I had experienced in Beit Lechem before I left. I returned and I said to them, I am Mara. And they said, no, you're Naomi. My daughter-in-law, Ruth, whose name means friendship, came along. Orpah, my other daughter-in-law, stayed behind in Moab. I had encouraged Ruth too to stay behind, but no, she insisted. She insisted I needed not just a friend, but that I needed a companion. She, Ruth, indeed modeled friendship. She was well named. Her name is in Syriac as well as in Hebrew, for she was indeed other and yet one with me. And when Ruth had that son, she brought him to me and said, let this son be yours. And as I held that boy on my lap, as I brought him to my bosom, I was speechless. I felt so full of gratitude. I knew not what to name him. And the same women who had greeted me upon my return, whom I had called of myself Mara, who had said to me, no, you endure as Naomi, they are the ones who named that boy. And they named him Eved, Oved, servant. For indeed, that trajectory that he would begin would be a trajectory of service. For from Oved would become Yishai, and from Yishai would become David, and from David would become Shlomo. That boy, that infant, that newborn on my lap would become the progenitor of generations, of servants of God, and more. It would be of a line that would one day, so we are taught, told, and promised, would become a line of wholeness, of Mashiach, of an anointed one who would bring wholeness to the world. And so why do you read my story today? I am but an aside. I, Naomi. For indeed my name was reclaimed as I held that infant, Naim, the one who seeks relationship, in this case with Eved, with Oved, with generations of those who would serve. For on Shavuot we are learned that Torah is given in order for us to rise toward our higher selves, to be those willing to put our own needs, our own power quest, our own ego aside, to be ones who are recipients of God's light and who spread that light as love to others. May you read my story and know it's unfinished, but know that as my bitterness was turned to joy, may the sorrow that is part of our lives become rejoicing. Amen.